How's it going, everyone? Forgive me if I am slightly unprepared for this, but I wasn't planning to stream tonight, and I definitely wasn't planning to stream at what is over here in the UK 4:45. So, yeah. We got out of nowhere a brand new trailer for LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Well, I suppose you could say behind the scenes. This thing's 5 minutes long, so I have watched it. Admittedly, I very much rushed it when I was watching it because I just wanted to obviously do a breakdown. I'm not one for doing breakdown videos. I prefer doing these things live so we don't miss anything. Let me know if this is all working. What we're going to do, instead of me going on, we're going to watch the trailer once and then start breaking it down. So let me know how audio is, but here we go. And this is like a first time for me.
One of the biggest games we've ever done.
So many planets, so many places to go, so many characters.
Let me know the stream's working as well, everyone.
Ways to do it. It's so funny. It's not the LEGO Star Wars you knew.
We said, right, let's give the fans everything Star Wars. We're going to give them the galaxy.
This is new, yep, this is building the galaxy. I'm going to try and not talk too much for the first viewing, but this is a new trailer, lots of new footage in this.
Planets that we'd been to in our imagination, planets that we'd loved as fans.
Lots of new footage, let me say.
9 movies.
Some interesting clones in here as well.
When we started this game was freedom. We wanted to blur the lines between levels and open world exploration as much as possible in this game so that it felt like one big cohesive galaxy.
The game itself is obviously episodic. As players play through those, they will unlock these wonderful planets.
Where did I find this? This was uploaded officially. ITT, everyone. As I said, we'll talk more once we've watched through it.
Planets are where this game really comes to life. The sheer scale of this is off the chart.
Yeah, I saw the Coruscant Guard as well. Absolutely hyped for that.
That you would recognize.
Absolutely hyped.
We've just really tried to delve into making.
So this seems like it's another angle of the behind the scenes that we got a few weeks ago, to be honest.
We started by going through every
planet. But there's so much new stuff in here. I didn't expect this much new stuff.
Each planet and location has got so much original, authentic Star Wars detail.
We got new systems that gave us a lot more finite control. How the planets look, how the levels look, how the ships look. It all looks so good.
There's also a couple of little details that people might not really observe straight away.
Is audio good as well, everyone? Let me know.
Effect. When you have the players or vehicles transition through the environment, they become sort of dirtier. For example, Tatooine.
A lot of new characters, Durrell, yep.
Have sand on their feet.
It was really
my last video, and that was supposed to be the final
whichever
one.
character you choose, we wanted to make sure that all the little crevices and all of the places like snow, mud, sand, all these elements would start to increase. You really do feel a part of that world. It's just fantastic.
Away! Get out of here!
I kind of like this, actually.
I find it impossible to pick a favourite planet. I mean, there's so many great ones to choose from.
Cloud City in Bespin is a great one because it's such an auditory experience. You got all the ships flying past you and you got all the people walking around.
The first time I landed on Naboo, you come through a clearing of trees and you just see the lake and you have the sun and the clouds.
Naboo looks really nice in these shots, to be honest.
It's absolutely
can't wait to delve more into this properly in a few
Endor.
minutes.
I was just the right age to get excited about Return of the Jedi. I love the Ewoks.
Just go to all of them.
The world of LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Coruscant looks insane, Admiral. I really like the look of it. Again, I say it every time, but
space missions,
every time
side
you see
quests, with all kinds of secret challenges wherever
you
go.
The Cantina band there.
My favourite mission is on Tatooine, and it's being able to feed the Sarlacc pit, going around and collecting things to feed.
Look how big that Sarlacc is compared to.
There's a mission in the game in Echo Base, and I just really love the one.
So many like new looks at characters, extras, everything in this.
And you're just trying to help him sneak out the base.
There are some missions where the player will follow a string of missions. That mission giver might send you from Acto to Exegol.
There are no hooks. Is there any Snoke in this trailer?
And finish that
That's
mission.
the one we're waiting on.
We haven't
still not
done
seeing
in
it.
previous games so much. Within our game, there's a lot of collectibles, and the Kyber bricks are something the players are going to find throughout the planets. These are awarded in puzzles and sometimes can be awarded in missions.
Along the way, you can get distracted by all sorts of like collectibles and missions to
a
take
new
on.
look at Cancer by there,
before you know,
actually.
you realise I haven't continued the
Yeah,
story
this is
for about
100%
half an
new,
hour. I've been too
everyone.
busy collecting
If you
kyber
can't tell, I
bricks.
love this shot here.
Completing missions and other
Dooku,
events are how you
Camino's,
unlock
clones,
your
Django,
favorite
everything. And was that
ships to
Stormtrooper,
fly
actually?
around and your favorite
We'll
characters.
get into it. Look, more
See
characters to go
characters in
through
this
there.
game that you would never
So
see in
much,
any of our Star
so
Wars
much
games
to break
created
down.
just for this game.
I really love that you can play as Mama the Hutt, which I think is just great
Mama
because I
the
want to be
Hutt.
Jabba with lipstick on.
Characters such
What the
as
hell?
Yaddle.
And it's a Clone Wars character. So
Babu Frick is hilarious because he's so tiny.
I am a huge fan of Star Wars, so I was so excited to be part of this. It was even more exciting to get to work on these planets that I've loved seeing in the films and exploring them even more.
The work that the team have put into it is incredible. I couldn't be prouder to have been part of this game.
We were able to capture so many worlds and bring them all
Coruscant, every
together
time I
and
see it, every
create
time I
them
see
the
it.
way that we wanted to is something that I'll always be proud of.
This is the breakdown. I don't do breakdown videos. This is the breakdown. We'll get more into. I think this is it actually, so we can get more into it now. Anything? No. Okay, right. We'll get into breaking this down, everyone. We're going to be here for a while. If you're just joining us, we've watched the whole thing back. So if you want it without my talking, obviously, you can go over that. But yeah, a lot to go over here. So let's just roll it, I suppose. And there's so many things in the chat that people are pointing out, and I honestly just want to get to them all, but we're just going to do it one by one. That's the best way. There won't be a breakdown video. I don't do breakdown videos because we'll miss something. This way, at least we can all contribute. So like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new. Nothing really to talk about in that shot. Another look at Kashyyyk, Yoda on the walker there, all the Wookiees roaming around. Again, not much new, but
the biggest games we've
don't worry, there's
ever-
a lot of new to come. We got the Slave 1 in front of Geonosis. What I'm really looking forward to, and obviously we'll get into them, is the Shock Trooper we know is in the game now. So they fixed the painting on that, and the Kashyyyk Trooper, which is one of the unknown clones. In fact, they're both unknown clones that we weren't too sure. And here we go, actually. What a shot that is. Mace Windu, Coruscant Guard, Jedi Temple, I believe the Jedi Temple, because the Senate building's in the back and it's got like the Jedi statues, so that's 100% the Jedi Temple it's got to be. But the Shock Trooper there, I'm so happy after, I believe it was the trailer back in 2020 where the Clone Trooper wasn't painted correctly, and everyone's telling me in the comments they'll fix it, because you know me and Clone Troopers when they don't look right. But yeah, they fixed it, it's looking great. I'm just going to leave it on this shot for a second, because there's not even that many characters around here. There's basically 2, but that shot in itself, so much to digest there. So much, it looks absolutely stunning. Looks incredible, honestly. It looks awesome, but I don't want to be that guy. But I noticed a few frame drops, says Austin. I noticed it especially during the Qui-Gon and Jar Jar scene. We're going to move on here. But
So many planets, so many places to go, so many characters.
new look at Mars's castle. Nice to see. But yeah, I have noticed the frame drop, especially in that cutscene with Qui-Gon and Jar Jar. I don't want to be that guy either, but a lot of us are noticing it.
So much.
We'll talk about it more later. New look at Ota Gunga, Jar Jar Binks. Jeff didn't return. No, this trailer was just shadow dropped. It wasn't at an event or anything, Ari. So don't worry about that. I like this. The ending scene of episode 7, kind of cool, obviously. These shots are always like so blurry in the trailers. I wish we could. We will soon enough, obviously, with the game coming out. But I wish we could just get some HD looks at all these shots.
So funny. It's not the Lego Star Wars you knew.
Ray on Kane. It's looking like it's Kanan's speeder bike. I mean, I've been saying this about the Kanan speeder bike situation for a while now. I don't believe it's in the game as Kanan's speeder bike. I believe they've just used the model as a regular speeder bike. I hope I'm wrong, because I love Kanan and I'd love to see him. And considering, I mean, Dragon's just said it there, Mama the Hutt is in the game. Now we need to talk about Mama the Hutt when we get to her, because she is a Clone Wars character. With Aura Singh, for example, Commander Cody, you've always got the excuse of they appeared in the movies. Aura Singh was in episode 1 if you didn't know. But Mama the Hutt is exclusively Clone Wars to my knowledge. So that's interesting.
We said,
And we
right,
will
let's give the fans
obviously
everything
talk
to
about it
we're gonna
when
give
we
them
get
the
to it.
galaxy.
So this one's called Building the Galaxy, everyone.
In LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, we had an incredible opportunity to build planets. Planets that we'd been to in our imagination. Planets that we'd loved.
We've
The
seen this
spans
pretty
of
much,
these
so we'll
stories
let
across
this play
not-
out. I mean, I like this. It's nothing reasonably new. It's just Padme or Queen Amidala and Naboo, but I do get a lot of Battlefront 2 vibes from Naboo and Kashyyyk, actually, in this game so far. Why are they hiding the customizer? No idea, but again, I want some surprises. I'm sure there are many surprises, but you have to ask the question with the customizer, are they hiding it because they want it to be the biggest surprise yet? Or are they hiding it because it simply doesn't exist? Will the live stream be posted later? If you want to access any live streams, you can like the video, it'll be on your like playlist. You can turn notifications on, it'll be on your notification center, or you can just click on the playlists or you can click on the live stream playlist in the playlist section, believe it or not. So
one of the big things
it will be unlisted then, so you'll have to do it one of those three ways. We've seen this pretty much, but you can see the First Order jet troopers a lot clearer here, because I was pretty sure in the last trailer you could see them, but they were that far away that they could have potentially just been First Order stormtroopers. But here you can actually see that they are First Order jet troopers, 110%.
Between levels and open.
Here we got the Pasana kind of event that we see in episode 9. How you doing, Jack? Good to see you. The footage did come out of nowhere. I mean, I've been quite busy today, so I literally came onto my computer at about 4 o'clock. And about 20 past 4, something like that. And I was checking like Reddit and stuff, and I saw like stuff for this footage, and it was all posted quite recently. So I was quite relieved that I hadn't missed it by a few hours, but yeah. Hello, Electro Adam. Good to see you. The customization must be something really big if they're hiding it. If we've got a short here, though, because this whole trailer we've got here is like a continuation of what we got at IGN FanFest. I mean, IGN posted this, strangely enough. I'm sure the other outlets have as well, though. But this looks like it's clearly the unseen bits from the last trailer, or bits they've left out on purpose. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get another one of these behind-the-scenes videos. The question is it going to feature the customizer? I'll see you in 15, Tyler. Where's the video? Can you link it? I mean, it's on the IGN YouTube channel. I think Tyler just said he's going, so I don't know if I've got a mod who can link this right now. If he doesn't put one in, I'll put one in to it. But let's move on to our next shot. Let me know if you see anything as well that I miss. We got Luke here, I'm guessing, in the Great Masasi Temple on the Great Yavin 4. So Balkar says I don't think they showed the character customizer for the Force Awakens game, so we didn't get it until the game was released. I mean, the thing is here, because a common argument I saw off a lot of people was LEGO games don't get marketed that much, and I fully respected that, but things do have to move along with the times, as has happened with this game. We've got way more marketing than we have for The Force Awakens, so I wouldn't read too much into the fact that if we didn't get something for The Force Awakens, that doesn't mean we're going to get it now. The character customizer may be nothing more than a surprise. I'm just saying that I'm slightly concerned.
The game is
nothing new here. We've seen this, so
as players play,
we'll skip over that.
Unlock these wonderful planets that they'll get to explore. You can go.
So this is how it's going to look early on in the game cycle, I suppose. I mean, judging by the planets they have unlocked, I think they've obviously done this purposely. They've probably been progressing through the game in a very much random order, which I'm guessing is how fewer people will decide to do it. I think people will neither begin with episode 1 to go chronologically or episode 4 to go in order of release. I can't really see many people for the first time going in like a random order, like episode 2, 7, 9, 4, 6. People might do that second time round, but I can't see many people doing it first time round.
From Tatooine to Coruscant. You can go
Let
to
me know if you are, though. This is nice. We get the Ugnaught there. I don't think... I'm trying to think, have we seen Ugnaughts yet? I mean, either way, we've got one now. And Quill is probably going to look something like that out of the Mando character pack, obviously. Do you know if Baba Fruit will be in the game? He's actually in this trailer again, Gamin. We already knew he was going to be in there, but we get an extra look at him in this trailer, so we will get onto that. Robert, how you doing? They said they aren't going in depth as the DC supervillains customizer, but hope something like Marvel Superheroes 2. When does that quote date back to, though? In the vehicle tab in the bottom middle could be a Superstar Destroyer. We're definitely going to get onto because I saw the menu of the vehicles, so we're going to get onto that. We got Rose doing some balance. I'm guessing this is the whole jump from one small platform to another. We had this debut for Lego Star Wars in the Force Awakens game. Acto again. A lot of different variants of the caretakers. I don't actually know what their species is, if anyone wants to tell me. Anton, how you doing? I'm on Xbox Lego Star Wars, sorry about that. I don't expect the custom creator to be revealed until the release. Could be. Like I said, I wouldn't read too much into it. I wouldn't be lying if I said I was slightly concerned, because I do feel like they're revealing an awful lot for it not to pop up in the background somewhere, but it may just be purposely done to keep it as a surprise. And the very first announcement, it's probably the quote I'm thinking of then, because I know they spoke about it 3 years ago.
The planets of where this game.
How much of that info is outdated
the
now?
The scale of this is off the chart. Being able to traverse the entire galaxy, going from all the planets that you would recognise from the films.
We've just really tried to delve into making each.
I hope it's off. I feel like the planet and the area we've seen the most is Tatooine, Mos Eisley. Like, we just see so much of it, which is absolutely fine, but I just feel like it's shot after shot. We've got the species on the left there, is the prequel era species. Again, you're going to have to tell me the name of that one, because I'm not actually sure. But a pretty cool one. The caretakers are Lanius, so that's the name of the species. Lanius. I don't know how to say it. Salacious Crumb is a character, I believe I saw that, so he's not a companion. It's interesting that with the companions we know for sure are the Porgs and...
Like alive?
What are they? The Porgs and
Grogu.
Go back actually, because that was the Coruscant
that you would recognise from the films.
I'll say what I'm going to say once I get to that shot, because I swear that was the Coruscant Club from the start of episode 2. Yeah, it is. I mean, that's brilliant. You can see a Duros there, I believe. Maybe it's Cad Bane dancing. But anyway. Yeah, the companions, that's what I was going to say. So we know Grogu, we know Porgs. It's going to be very interesting, considering they've made a new type of character in a companion. It's going to be interesting to see how many we get. Because I was convinced, I couldn't confirm anything, but I was convinced that Salacious Crumb was going to be a companion. 100%. And I don't... Look, I would rather him not be. I don't mind Porgs being companions, but personally I want to play as Grogu, like in his little hover chair, zooming around everywhere. That'd be cool. But I'm glad Salacious Crumb isn't a companion. I just really thought he was going to be. I'm not going to judge the whole companion thing, because it might be really good. And I'm not saying by any means it's bad. I would just rather play as the character, even if they're obscure.
The film.
But yeah, let's continue with the trailer. I'll get to some comments. So I'm guessing this is a concept art short, which doesn't reveal much, because concept art can obviously be changed. Bespin again here looks a lot like Battlefront 2, and that means a lot to me. Well, actually more like Battlefront 1 in this one. But upgrades for ships, I'm guessing we're going to get to those shots, don't worry. Tyler, if you are here, because I thought you'd gone, a few people wanted a link to the trailer, so would you mind putting one in the chat? The three-eyed species is the Gran. Thank you again, Cyclone. Appreciate you letting me know on that one. And Humberto for letting me know the species of the caretakers. Ari says, I'm not obsessed with Star Wars anymore, but I'm still getting this game because I've been waiting since 2019. I mean, for me, it wouldn't matter if I was obsessed with Star Wars or not, because I'm always going to be obsessed with the prequels over pretty much anything. So
Star Wars
I'm always going to want to play them again. And the originals, and even the sequels, I think are going to be great gameplay-wise anyway.
Control, how the planets look,
Yeah.
how the levels look, how the
Let's find our
ships
next
look.
interesting shot. I mean, this is Battlefront 2 right here, isn't it? They've got to have taken some inspiration from it. It looks phenomenal. I really, really like the look of Kashyyyk. There's so much of this game. You know, when the things that I'm pointing out, that I'm not even complaining about, I'm just being picky about, you know the game's good when I'm being picky about things. Like, I can't even find anything to full-on rant or complain about. Obviously, the frame rate, people have mentioned already in the chat, is a bit of an issue, and I'm just hoping that's fixed for when the game comes out. But we can't really comment much more on it.
Might not really observe straight away.
Thanks for the link, Tyler. Dio gameplay, everyone, on, I'm guessing, Takadana or Agent Kloss. The camera where the character... The camera where the character or pilot the speeder? What? Do you mean the camera angle of where you're piloting a speeder just seems off? Well, we'll have to look at a shot where they're piloting a speeder, but I would say you can say what you want about the character angles in terms of it being a bit zoomed in, but in terms of vehicles, I think the camera angle is perfect because I think they were far too far away in the complete saga, for example. I think we were getting there with maybe the Clone Wars game, definitely getting there a bit better with the Force Awakens game, but I think vehicles is looking perfect for me. Characters, who knows? They confirmed they took inspiration from Battlefront 2. I don't even think I'd need them to confirm that to know. Yet another shot of Tatooine and yet another shot of Lego's favourite, Farm Boy Luke. Right, here's a speeder shot. Right here we've got Greedo on a speeder bike. Incredible, right? Remember to like and subscribe, guys, if you're new, would appreciate it. Do you think someone would have chances to play the game before others test it? You never know. You never know, do you? Qui-Gon Jinn saving Jar Jar gives me chills. It's just a remake of the complete saga. This game is going to be good. Even though it's not a quote-unquote remake, because I understand the levels have been built from the ground up, it is just nice to see the old become the new. That's the one that stands out in my head is Negotiations. I know it's a hub world level in this game, I know it's going to be different, but just seeing that, once you break down the doorway in Negotiations in the complete saga and you see the long corridors, seeing the comparison in this game and then the complete saga is everything to me. When people say what are you most excited about for this game, it's things like that, just seeing the old become the new. Anyway, next shots. Another Bantha. Boba would be proud. Bouch. Is that Leia, or is it the actual original Bouch, however you want to say it? Frame rate, Y33 says, frame rate wise, I'm not concerned because I play Teardown. Okay, well, again, frame rate for me, I'm noticing the frame rate more in cutscenes. I don't know when everyone else is noticing it more, let me know in the chat, but I'm noticing it more in cutscenes, which I would say neither is ideal, but I'd rather have it in cutscenes than when you're actually playing. Now, I hope it's fixed either way. The couch co-op's in there. I don't think they're really going to show it in a trailer because I just think it's one of those things that they classify as too obvious, and I don't think we're going to see that until the game comes out. But we know it's in there, so.
It was really satisfying when you actually can play the game, whichever character.
I love this. I'm a big, and actually, if I just play a second, no, I want to catch that mouse droid. There's a mouse droid with a stormtrooper helmet on. I think that's kind of cool.
Sand on their feet.
It was really satisfying when you actually can play the game, whichever character you choose.
There we go. Look at that. It's such a minor detail. But you've got... Actually, you'll see this later on. But if you look at the very back, you've got like a character frozen in ice. Now, they actually had that in the Force Awakens game. There's one... Somehow... Don't ask me how this makes sense. But somehow in the Force Awakens game, there's a character frozen in ice on Jakku, but it's Star Wars, so who cares, right? Boosh, okay, Boosh, Bausch, I don't mind, we'll go with Boosh if that's what you're telling me. Willie, there is a new trailer indeed. I'm not on Switch, I'm on Xbox, but new trailer indeed, which we will be breaking down. There will be no breakdown video, everyone, on this channel at least. I prefer doing them live so we can all group together and we don't miss anything. If I do a video, just going to be in the comments telling me you missed that. It's more fun this way. I'm worried about why it is that they would show footage of the frame rate dropping if they fixed it. It's possible that a lot of this stuff is months old. I would go as far as years old, but I don't believe it's years old because the footage we got back in August was pretty... I didn't like the trailer from August last year. I'm not saying it was bad, but there was a lot of issues which I think you all know about characters not attacking properly, and I don't think lighting was great in that one. So I think this footage could potentially be a few months old, in which they would have had time to fix it, but it might not be. They don't just put this stuff together on the day, but we'll have to see, obviously. This is the thumbnail IGN used. I would have used a much more exotic thumbnail than this. We know Chewie's in the game. We know, I think that's Starkiller, to be honest. We know that's in the game. I love this. I love this because I've been hopeful since the 2020 trailer that the shock troopers were going to be in the game. They were just going to paint the regular clones that they used. But we didn't know these guys were going to be in the game. You could have predicted it, considering Grease in the game, considering Kashyyyk in general's in the game, but just to see them. Fantastic. The fact they have comics and the Clone Wars stuff, I know. I mean, Mama the Hutt in this, I'm more hopeful now. Again, don't get your hopes up. But I'm more hopeful now for Cad Bane. For the big one in my comments section on Monday when we talked about the DLC was Rex. Everybody was just saying Rex, Rex over and over again. I love Rex as well. Even though I'm satisfied with getting some sort of Ahsoka, the Mandalorian version, and I'd really just be fine with that, I still want her Clone Wars version, but it won't be a big issue. I pre-ordered the digital deluxe edition on Xbox, if you're curious, Willie. Yeah. We will not have red bricks again. So red bricks, gold bricks, all replaced with Kyber bricks now. I don't mind it because they've still got mini kits. They've got a new and improved True Jedi, and I think balancing with the old with the new is perfect. Hello Dan, you think we're going to get Clone Wars characters? I mean, I hope so, right? You know, if you're making the game off this, they've told us since day one this is based on the Skywalker Saga, and I fully accept that, and in my opinion I was prepared for nothing more than the DLCs in terms of additional characters. But when they're adding Mr. Bones from the Aftermath books, who I didn't even know, I know him now, don't worry, I've watched a few videos, and when they're adding Mama the Hutt, now imagine you got your list of Clone Wars characters and the one you choose is Mama the Hutt. It's just not going to be likely. I'm glad she's in the game, but I don't see them putting Mama the Hutt in and not Cad Bane. But at the same time, I could be completely wrong, and Cad Bane might not be in the game. So at 105, we'll take a look at Coruscant, definitely. Let's move on to our next shot, though. I mean, what minute am I? I'm at 2:17, so I didn't know if I was past that or not, but this is nothing new here. So actually, no, I'm going to let this play out, but I'm just going to pre-warn you. This is the shot a few of us are thinking the frame rate's a bit of a disaster in, so let me know your thoughts.
I find it...
I would say it's more when Qui-Gon's running.
You really feel part
of it. Watch when Qui-Gon's running, mainly. But look here, like that's where I feel the frame rate's a bit of a disaster. Again, not to be negative, but a few people have pointed out. Now, I like this. This is a Coruscant Underworld again. I'm really curious why Obi-Wan has the printed robes. Because I actually, looking at this, I prefer the printed robes. But they've not really gone for that with many other characters. Now, I thought potentially they're doing it on Camino because they're trying to imitate the fact that Obi-Wan's robes are wet and they're sticking to his body. But this is on Coruscant. So I really like these printed robe looks, so the characters, I much prefer them. I'm just curious why they're choosing to do it for some and not for others. This is TT's last LEGO game, says Willie again. I mean, yet to be be confirmed. But I would think it's either way. I think it's going to be the last Lego Star Wars game for a long time. It won't be the last Lego Star Wars game ever. Of course, there'll be another one, but I think it could be 10 years, maybe over away. Same with like a Battlefront 3. Of course, there'll be a Battlefront 3 eventually, or a rebooted Battlefront 1, but it's probably like 10 plus years away. Ahsoka is a Clone Wars character, exactly, Super, but the version we've got is her Mandalorian look. Now, I don't think they're much different, because, especially in Lego form, if you go for Season 7 looking Clone Wars, they're both wearing blue, so it's not that big of an issue. I'm thinking, Cyclone says, I'm thinking Rex might exist as his Endor variant. That's a good shout, because that one's got an official Lego minifigure as well, hasn't it? Yeah, although it's not named as Rex, because I saw it with the Endor shuttle a few years ago. Although it's not named as Rex, it is implied to be Rex, so that's a shout. Maybe they'll do that in this game. Maybe it'll just be known as Endor Trooper, but it'll be the one that's supposed to look like Rex. You don't see anything wrong with the frame rate. That's great, Proto, if you don't. I think it's very minor. It's not something that really bothers me. If it's in the game when it comes out, I'm not really that bothered, but I do believe it's noticeable. Again, not that big of an issue. This is TT's last game, and then I read your comment underneath that where you said, should I spread something else? So I don't think there's any confirmation that this is TT's last game. It could be, it could not be. Don't read into that until you know for sure. Because there's an Obi-Wan minifigure with printed robes. Again, I know if you've got an official minifigure, they'll do it. But they've designed, as they actually get onto later in this trailer, they've designed a lot of minifigures from scratch. So why they'd have it for some and not for others, it'd be very simple, but
I mean,
not a big issue. Again, if these are the gripes, it shows how perfect it is.
It's a great one.
Let's focus though, because this Bespin, again, I'd always just go back to Battlefront. It looks a lot like Battlefront 1 with the Bespin maps, but although you don't get to see much except for nothing more than a view on this one, the view is quite phenomenal. I mean, Bespin's one of my favourites. I love the city planets, so Bespin, Coruscant. Believe it or not, as a planet, I like Canto Bight, and I really find it unfortunate how I don't think they executed the planet the best way. Because in this game, I can't wait to go to Canto Bight. Kijimi as well. I don't think I'd call it a city planet, but what a nice looking planet Kijimi is.
An auditory experience. You got all the ships flying past you, and you got all the people walking around.
Lobot confirmed. In fact, people always moan about the way I say Lobot. Lobot, is that better? But we've got Lobot, we've got Admiral Akbar's long lost cousin. Again, am I just going to say phenomenal again? I probably am. I've already said it. I mean, it's nice to have Lobot confirmed. Lobot. A little stall there at the side selling some food. Can't see any Imperial flags in this one, but there was obviously in the one in the last trailer. If you're new, guys, make sure to like and subscribe as well. I would appreciate it. Youngling, there's no proof yet that Neo, Bly and Baraka aren't in the game. Now, I don't know about Neo and Baraka, but I do think Bly's got a shot of being in the game. I know he doesn't have an official Lego minifigure, but neither did Cody in his Phase 2 form. Or he didn't have a good one, at least. How big will all the planets be? Well, I thought about the same, Derek, because you say they all can't be the same size. And I do think some will be considerably larger than others. It's hard to actually tell you with words how big they'll be. But I do think they'll be bigger than the ones in the Force Awakens game. But not by a huge amount. Because some of them... I mean, look at the car in the Force Awakens game. Tiny. Jakku, huge. And I think that could be similar in this game. Coruscant, I think, will be huge. I think Exegol, I think a lot of people said this. Exegol might not be as big as we want it to be, because they may be restricted on what they can show.
The first time I landed on Naboo, you come through a clearing of trees and you just see the lake.
I mean, this looks nice. It's nice to see, because Naboo, really, when you're looking at the forest area of it, it's very much like a lot of other Star Wars planets. I think what makes Naboo so different is feed, especially, Otoh Gunga. But it's nice to see it here. what did I think of the Kenobi trailer? I really liked it. I'll answer it quickly because I know people want me to focus on this, but quite glad actually that there's not as much Tatooine as I thought there was going to be, because we've just had a lot of Tatooine and sand planets recently. But it looks great. I'm just not sure about the Inquisitor's head, and I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that. But anyway, right.
The sun and the clouds in front of you, and the sun's.
Look at Jar Jar looking out. I'd love a HD shot of this. Jar Jar just looking out into the distance. I'm gonna get that in game. When it's actually here, I'm gonna get that.
Reflecting off that, it's absolutely beautiful.
My favourite planet is Endor. I was just.
Endor, it's a good choice. I like Endor. I mean, this looks great. You got the rope, the swinging down the rope, or however you want to say it. We've seen Finn do this on Agent Kloss. Look at Endor Han as well. This shot we've pretty much seen from other angles. It's a bit. I'm not gonna. You know what I'm thinking about these cutscenes. I think they're a bit. Frame rate's a bit questionable, isn't it? Right. Come on, let's move on.
The world of LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga needed to be alive, so we built a galaxy with
N1 Starfighters. We got the regular clone in the bottom. He actually looks kind of different. I don't think it's a Camino clone. I do think it's just a regular clone. I think he just looks a bit different. What makes Naboo different is it's not just one ecosystem to one planet. Tatooine is all desert, Hoth all snow, Camino all storm / ocean, Endor all woods, Naboo has plains, forest, cities. Yeah, I think obviously this is a lesser kind of known planet, or not as big in terms of the universe and how much they want to explore it, but Kessel, I was surprised, has different environments, and I like that. Obviously I don't mind certain planets having all the same environment. But anyway,
with side.
I like this. In fact, hit it, boys! Figuring Dan and the crew of lookalikes who all look like him. Farm Boy Luke as well, Lego's favourite, obviously.
Quests with all kinds of.
Luke just standing in front of them as they play, trying to take all the credit. I'll stand here and look cool. How you doing? Hello, good to see you. Will Dexter's Diner be in the game? I hope. Dexter is, because he was on the character list in the last trailer, or in the 5-minute trailer, should I say. And we get another look at that character list in this, actually, which we will get to. That's going to be like the really fun shot to get over. We got 200 people here as well, so it's good to see you all, everyone. Okay, next shot.
Challenges.
This is Pasana, and we've got a nice kite flying
Wherever
which is nice.
My favourite mission is on
This is I want to try and read what they say.
It's being able.
Be careful on the Sarlacc pit. Like, look at this, right? How bloody big is that Sarlacc pit? I remember the Sarlacc pit in the original LEGO Star Wars. I remember I had and still have, despite it not being in one piece, the original Jabba's sail barge from 2005 or 6, I always forget. But the Sarlacc pit is tiny. And then look at this. It's like the Sarlacc pit on Felucia in Battlefront. Maybe not as big, but this one's alive at least. It looks menacing. Like, I don't want to fall into that. In the last game, I know it's the same in this game. You fall into it, you'll lose a few studs, and you're right back in it. But in this game, I actually want to avoid that. That looks menacing.
To feed the Sarlacc pit, going around and collecting things.
You collect like different things to feed. I like that. The comedy gold of LEGO Star Wars games. Yeah, look at it. Look at it eating there. We've got 3PO, pit droid over there. In fact, 2 pit droids. Yeah, but it's definitely pretty creepy, isn't it? Sus, the Sarlacc pit. Is the character circle on the bottom right who you're playing as, or is it who's talking? I think it's who's talking, because there's a level from the breakdown we got at IGN. It's neither the breakdown we got at IGN. Yeah, it's the breakdown we got at IGN. And you can see the Nemoidian officer, the separatist officer at the bottom, but the character's playing as the Republic, I believe, or the M1 Starfighter for Naboo. So either way.
There's a mission in the
Okay. Wampa Wanderer. Irony strikes back. Just got word that a Wampa has been spotted on the base. Being trapped inside a password-protected room doesn't sound like such a nightmare anymore. So these are missions. Anything else we can make out here? Genos' Hive, Echo Base, Exegol Space, Exegol something else at the top. And the reward for unlocking it is the Wampa, so I'm guessing that's a way of unlocking the Wampa. So I wonder if alternatively you'll be able to buy the Wampa, or if this is the only way. Because I don't mind that, actually, if certain characters can only be unlocked by certain challenges. You don't all the time have to buy the character. Like, buying the character is cool, and I hope they keep that in there, because you get a lot of pleasure from getting what I hope are the most expensive ones, being the Force Ghosts again. But maybe unlocking a character this way. Now, you never know, here you may be able to unlock the Wampa by studs, but wouldn't that make the mission a bit pointless?
game in Echo.
And here it is, the Wampa himself. Is the character customizer in the game? I've had so many questions about it, Marshall, and I honestly can just tell you we don't know. We've not seen it, but we're also not hearing anything these days to suggest we're not getting it. How does... Alright, thank God that question's not for me, youngling, because I wouldn't even know where to begin. The toilet pit looks too symmetrical. Isn't it supposed to be symmetrical to a degree? Again, though, if these are our gripes, it tells us how good the game is. My favourite characters in the Star Wars Saga is the seasonal skins. The Vader and the Gonk Droid, then. They're going to be good. And Sith-Eyes Anakin. I like how Sith-Eyes Anakin, or Dark Anakin, is a different character to normal Anakin. So they can use different abilities. Anyway, next shot.
And I just...
Don't hurt me. I mean you no harm. I was told this.
really love the Wampa in it. He's so nervous.
So this would be an easy gig. Storm a
And
base.
he doesn't want to get like caught,
Okay.
and you're just trying to help.
So the Wampa's full on talking to us. Wonderful. God, so many of these shots would be like only YouTubers would get this problem, but so many of these shots would be great for thumbnails if they were a bit more HD. Like that Wampa would be brilliant on a thumbnail, but it's not. These trailers aren't HD enough, or they are HD, but the motion blur creates a big problem. But anyway,
Sneak out the base.
doesn't really matter. So now the rebels are helping the Wampa, and you've got here. This is what I was telling you about. We could see this actually in an earlier shot, but from a different angle. You've got a rebel stuck in a bit of ice. I mean, she doesn't look like she's going through too much of an issue there, to be honest. She kind of looks like she's enjoying it, but you had this in the Force Awakens game with character... One was on Jakku somehow, and the way you got her out was... Or got the person out, I can't remember who it was in that game, but the way you got the character out was by using a flame trooper, and it would burn it down. So again, why the Sun and Jakku wouldn't have done that, I don't know, but I like how it's in this game, and I like how it's a bit more planet appropriate this time. Alphalino, welcome. I wonder if they based this Wampa from the deleted scene where they break into the base. Possibly. I mean, the Wampa here, it's a Lego game, so it's I don't really care anyway about size of things, but I feel like the Wampa wouldn't be that small. I like the Wampa wouldn't even be able to fully fit in without like arching over a bit. But anyway, how long is this game going to take to 100%? I mean, I think it is very much dependent on how much time you have, but it could take a few weeks for a die-hard, but I think the vast majority will have it complete or will be well on the way with only a few things left by like June, July. By July, I think definitely. Look, if we're still going crazy by July, then fair enough. I'm not complaining. I want it to last as long as possible.
There are some missions where the player will follow a string of missions. That mission...
So you got... I come here every day to feed the what? Give me your best guesses in the comments. Feed the... What could it be?
Send you compact.
The young porgs. For the split second there... The split second where I saw the word young, what do you think I thought of? The younglings. I come here every day to feed the younglings. That would be quite the mission. I'd want to find out a bit more. Every planet unlocked there except one. That'll be us in a few months. We've got that one planet left to do. Patry, how you doing?
Toe to Exegol.
Oh, Exegol Space Sith Citadel. I like that. Cool name. So there's only 2 locations by the... I mean, there is an arrow there, but I think that's pointing... That's unrelated. Yeah, so there's only 2 areas in Exegol. So again, I think that would imply that Exegol could be a bit smaller.
And you've got to travel across the galaxy and finish that mission. And that's something new we haven't actually done in previous
This is
games
going to be so cool. Oh, Exegol looking absolutely crazy. I mean, there's someone outside, so we can explore the outside area. But look, I'm not expecting Exegol to be huge. I think a lot of things will be off limits. But am I excited? I absolutely am. I cannot wait. Exegol is going to be insane. Like... Look, no matter what your opinions on movies are, because I hear everyone going on about Coruscant, and I think Coruscant's going to be the best. But take your opinions on the movies aside. I don't feel people are talking about Exegol, Kijimi enough. Like, those 2 planets, they're so unique. I'd much rather explore those than another forest planet or another sand planet. Your guess was feed the Gungans. Well, that wouldn't be as concerning as feeding the younglings, because why would they need feeding if they're all dead by that point? So anyway, next
Within our
shot.
game there's a lot of collectibles. And the Kyber brick.
The Kyber brick, there is one up close. I'd love a real life Kyber brick, but how they'd get the little shield around it, I don't know. Who's that pink character? I think it's just one of the Octo caretakers.
Some of the players are going to find throughout the planets. These are awarded.
Okay, we have Lamasu, I believe. I mean, they could just be regular Kaminoans, but I'm pretty sure that's Tarn Way. And then, interestingly, there's a stormtrooper there. I mean, you got a maze and everything. I mean, this is a brilliant shot. Actually, you got Dooku. The thing there is the stormtrooper, because obviously planets will change based on the area you're in. Now, we all know, and if you didn't, I mean, it's not much of a spoiler now, because I think we're nearly a year on, but Kamino was destroyed by the Empire not long after Order 66. So technically, although Kamino is still there, sorry, let me be more specific, Kamino wasn't destroyed. Tapoka City and all the Kaminoan platforms and everything like that was destroyed by the Empire. So technically, if you went to Kamino in the Imperial era, and even forget the sequel era because it's long gone by then, but if you went in the Imperial era, this shouldn't be here. But again, I think by the time that episode of The Bad Batch aired, this was probably far into development, so I do think you will be able to visit Kamino during the Imperial times, and I think that's why the Stormtrooper's there. Now, the Stormtrooper could just be there as a random additional character that's there. It's just very interesting you got all prequel stuff there, and then you got a Stormtrooper. But anyway. When you're on a planet, will there be weather like rain, thunder, lightning? Well, I think based on the planet you're on, so Kamino, I fully expect there to be rain. I mean, we've seen rain in the shots. But whether you can be on Tatooine and there's a sandstorm, I mean, that would be planet appropriate. Or whether you can go to Coruscant and it rains. I mean, we've never seen it rain on Coruscant, I don't believe, but I guess it would rain there. So, we don't know about we do know about weathering in terms of if you're walking through sand, you're going to get sand on you, but we don't know whether the weather's going to change when you're on a certain planet. How on earth can this run on the Switch? I'm thinking about that every day. Like I said in the last stream, me getting a Switch is very dependent on if the Skywalker Saga runs on there. We got this clip the other day. So this was probably taken a few days ago, that Jawa clip from this trailer. But anyway, Cansobite. Again, I think as a planet, Cansobite is really nice. It looks like I think you got another Duros in the background. So one thing I really hope for, and I'm sure we'll see it, is more familiar aliens on Cansobite. Because a big issue I had with Cansobite and a lot of like the sequel era planets actually is that they just forgot about all the other aliens. I'm completely for bringing in new aliens, but I think always have a bit of a balance, because then you feel like you're in the Star Wars universe. You don't need to have loads, you can just have a Twi'lek pop up or a Duros like we got there, so I'm glad by the looks of things they're going to do that in this game. Now remember to keep liking and subscribing if you're new, guys. If Force Ghost Return, there might be 5. That's what I was thinking. So Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, as you'd expect. Luke, Leia. Now, although apparently in the books, which are canon, Qui-Gon can present his actual physical form by the time of Episode 4, I don't think we'll see him. I know we saw him in the cutscene of the last game, of The Force Awakens, but I just don't think we'll see it this time round.
So like,
I wanted to see if I could see that Duros anymore, but
and before you know it, you realise I haven't continued the story to about half an
there's
hour.
a Precon Persona.
Too busy collecting.
I mean, I used this for the thumbnail, but again, another Stormtrooper on Camino. I think that is a regular Camino, and it doesn't look like Tarnway or Lama Su. Just interested why the Stormtroopers there. Again, I don't mind. I'm just curious. Are they in the Imperial era? Day and night cycles. We don't know about day and night cycles. Yeah, I hope. I hope. What's up, Solo Case? I'm doing good. How are you these days, my friend? We have seen a Hoth snowstorm. Again, I think certain planets will have stuff like... So I would expect Hoth to potentially have Hoth snowstorms. Like you said, we've seen one. Because that is appropriate to not just the planet, but the level itself in episode 5. At the start, there's a bit of a snowstorm. And obviously, Luke gets into a bit of a pickle, and Han has to come and get him and all that stuff. So it would be appropriate. Dooku's very happy there.
Other events are how you
Okay, pause. Vehicle screen. We have the V19. No, that's not the V19. That's the ARC 170. I should know that as a Clone Wars fan. That's the ARC 170. We have the B-Wing. The Y-Wing. So I'm guessing they're either two just different variations, or one's like a Rebel/Resistance version and one's the Clone Wars era version. That other ship is that the ship that Rey and the gang use when they're leaving Pasaana in episode 9? I think we got, as it will probably be called in the game, and I hope I'm wrong, Boba Fett's starship. It is the Slave One, but I just have a feeling they're going to call it that. We got the Tantive 4, Dooku's Solar Sailor, brilliant. The next one I can work that out actually, even though we can't see it. That's Darth Maul's Scimitar, so nice to see that one. We got the Imperial... Which one's that? The TIE Interceptor. You're really going to test my knowledge here, because I admit vehicles aren't my strong point, so I think I'm doing alright so far. We got the Droid Tri-Fighter, which is darkened out. Couldn't tell you what the one is after that, but we'll take some guesses in the chat in a second. Not too sure what the other one is there. I'm trying to really get up close to my screen. I don't know what that is. Then we got the First Order TIE Fighter. No idea what I have no idea what the next two are actually there. We got Grievous's Solus one. God, the one after that looks like it could be the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels. Again, I will take some guesses in the chat. It might not be, but that genuinely looks like the Ghost. Then Padme's Royal Starship, the droid gunship after that, blacked out. And is that... I don't know what this one looks like off the top of my head, but Cad Bane's ship from the Bad Batch. But again, I feel like that would have been too late for them to add. I don't know what it is. TIE Advanced, sorry. I did say we were going to really test my vehicles knowledge there, which I will admit, when it comes to Star Wars, I'm good. I'm very good. But I can struggle on some vehicles, as you've seen. I think I did all right, though, besides that. So what do we maybe we'll see if... I mean, I think the Imperial Shuttle's next, but we'll scroll down, and potentially Jango's Slave 1, but we'll scroll down in a minute, and hopefully we get more of those. But any guesses? Any guesses of what we have? Darth Gamer's buying the digital deluxe edition. I got the same one, my friend. Very excited about the Obi-Wan series. I just hope they fix the Grand Inquisitor's head. The Gonk ship. I see that. Yeah. You turn that around. That's a Gonk ship. No, they can't have done that. Surely look at everybody. Turn your heads sideways to the left, and look at that brown ship on the 4th row. Now that looks like a Gonk. Surely it can't be. Surely it can't be. Is that the ghost? I'm looking because I'm really close to my screen now trying to work these out. I think that's the ghost next to the Solus one. I could be wrong, but it looks like it. IG-88 ship at the bottom right. Okay, so that's IG-88. I wouldn't have known that one, so thank you for pointing that out. It does look like a Gonk ship, doesn't it? I never would have saw that coming, if it is. First thing you saw, Matthew? I mean, it's a Lego game, so I wouldn't put it past them. I don't know. I don't know. Right, we'll look at some more. I think the top Y-Wing might be the episode 9 one. Okay, and the one below that is definitely the episode 4 one. So.
Lock your favourite ships to fly.
Right, we don't see any more on there, so we may get back to that shot. Okay, that was a very quick look at the characters. I'm going to have to go back a bit there.
I've been too busy collecting kyber bricks.
Completing missions and other events are how you unlock your favourite ships to fly around, and your.
So this confirms Salacious Crumb is a confirmed character and not companion. Got quite a few here, right? So, is that... It cannot be. It cannot be at the top left, the very first character. Rebel Friend, because that is R. We got Ray and we got the creature beginning with R, I think. That I see potential red on his torso. I think that's Rebel Friend. I think they full on called him Rebel Friend as well, which I didn't expect. Rebel Friend. Alright then. Okay, then we got the creature with 3 eyes. Oh, also at the top, is that Dark Ray? Or is that Palpatine? Don't know. We got Obi-Wan Destroyed at the top as well, which we kind of already knew. 2 different versions of Rey, which I'm guessing is the Scavenger and Jedi. No idea who the Lot character is. We got a... Is that the pilot from the royal pilot from episode 1 who teaches Anakin the controls of Padme's royal starship? That's not Ahsoka, that's Shakti. It would make sense with the alphabetical order. Then we got 2 different versions of Rose. I'm curious why they're both different. Is that Mr. That can't be Mr. Bones, can it? Alphabetically. It can't be. I don't know who's next to Rose. We got the Stormtroopers there. Only 3 variants. That's interesting. 2 different variants of the Scout Trooper. Then Sebulba. I see Sebulba. I think that's a Senate Guard. Shakti. It's tough. You got the Sith Jet Trooper. That's definitely Shakti, guys. Alphabetically, it works out. It looks like Shakti's head. Purple one is Sidonifano. Sidonifano. That. Oh yeah. I was about to look him up, but yeah, it's the red helmet guy from Mars's Castle. That might be Roger. Oh, it could be. I didn't think they were going to put Freemaker stuff in. It would work. Alphabetically, it would work, wouldn't it? Rick Ole is the top one. Okay, thanks for letting me know that one, Anthony. Yeah, people saying it's Rebel Friend. I agree. It was the first thing I noticed there, because you see Ray right next to it. The other guy may have been named. I think we got Roger on there, who's from the Freemakers. I've been telling you guys for ages, don't expect Freemakers this time round. It was done in the last game because it was to go alongside the show that was on at the time, but that genuinely looks like Roger. It's a battle droid, and it can't be Mr. Bones alphabetically. M or B, whichever. They're probably going to go with M, but either one cannot be. Is that? No, it can't be Darth Vader. Who's the second row final character? Who's that? Like a Senate Guard or something. No, because I think the Senate Guard's next to Shaq T. There's a B1 battle droid in episode 9. There is, but it's a non-operational one. I doubt that. They'll probably be in a cutscene maybe, but... Do you think the character selection screen and the whole system is kind of clustered, like all over the place? No, I kind of like... I always will prefer the retro screen, but I actually kind of like it. I really like it, to be honest. It's I say it's grown on me, but I kind of liked it since the start. Yeah, it is Rebel Friend. I'm in disbelief, but they've only gone and done it. I mean, we can only hope for Jedi Bob now, of course. I don't think it's Vader. It can't be alphabetically, and I think the helmet's a bit too big for Vader. Could be a hood. And at the top as well, is that Dark Ray, or is it like Palpatine before he's deformed, maybe? Can't really work out. I'm sure someone did it on Reddit last time. They went through every character on like Wikipedia and they found out who everyone was. So we will know this list by possibly tomorrow, the day after. Who's the one in between Rose and the locked character? So the other locked character in between Rose and that other locked character with the turquoisey green kind of background. One of the Knights of Ren. Good shout actually. Probably is. Yeah. I see the Sith Jet Trooper. Yeah, you can work that one out. Could be an Imperial officer. Could be. We'll probably move on now, guys. Like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new, everyone. Looks like you get info for characters when pressing a certain button. Well, I like that. Always a bit of info goes a long way.
Favorite characters.
There's Salacious Crumb, the character, and not the companion. Very much thought he was going to be Jabba's companion. I'm glad he's not, because I want to play as these characters. But, yeah. Mama the Hutt, Rian. Hopefully, because we've not actually got to her in the trailer yet, but hopefully that's an indication of Clone Wars characters. Because if you're going to the Clone Wars, I don't think, out of every character in the show, I don't think anybody picks Mama the Hutt. That's not me saying I'm glad she's in the game. The more the merrier. I'm just saying I hope she's only the start of the Clone Wars characters.
You see characters in this game that you have never seen in any of our Star Wars games we created.
I mean, we've seen this guy, Kareb Dis, I remembered his name. Kareb Dis from Episode 9, Kijimi. Really, really bloody cool, I have to say. I love the teeth. That maybe he does have eyes under there. I'm not too sure on the lore. Maybe he chopped his head off. I don't know. Is he like a shark? Is he like the shark creatures we see in the Clone Wars? That'd be cool if he is. Yeah, I love how, by the way there, I was trying to remember his name, which I did off the top of my head, but then I realised it said his name on the screen. But I did actually remember his name from my head. This is, don't tell me, even though it's on the screen, I think he looks an awful lot like Aftab Akbar, the man who says, "The Emperor is dead," and is in disbelief to be told that he's actually alive in Episode 9, I think, as we all were. But anyway, cool character. I believe he was in the 5-minute trailer from January, but we couldn't see his face. He was a locked character. Dengar's confirmed. Kayab, he was in the last trailer. So yeah.
I really love
Mama the Hutt! And they've used her Clone Wars image, so they recognise that she's alive. I mean, she shouldn't be this. I'm not trying to make fun of Mama the Hutt's weight by any means, but I don't think she should be the same size as Jabba the Hutt. I'm just saying that. I think she should be maybe not even slightly bigger, like maybe 4 times the size of Jabba the Hutt. Again, not to poke fun at Mama the Hutt's weight, I'm just trying to be accurate to the character.
That you can play.
Look at that beautiful thing. Oh my god. Mama the Hutt. We're just gonna sit and stare for a few minutes, okay? Yeah, she's full on from the Clone Wars show. So I know we've had like Aura Singh, who a lot of people don't know, but she's in episode 1. She doesn't originate from the Clone Wars, but Mama the Hutt is full on Clone Wars. Go back to the character collection screen. Why? I mean, I'll have a quick look. Really?
Need the story in about half an hour. I've been too busy collecting kyber bricks.
Completing missions and other
Who have you
events
noticed
are how
on
you
this
unlock your favorite
screen?
ships to fly around and your favorite.
Who have you noticed? Be quick, because we have more new footage. The game does not come out today, no, Dan. It comes out on April 5th. Yeah, maybe 3 times the size of Jabba, Mother. Just being accurate to the character, that's all. Right, who have you seen, Tyler? Yeah, it's April 5th this game comes out. At midnight, yeah, at midnight. Okay, that's 100% correct. She's in Clone Wars, yeah, she's in the episode where Quinlan Vos and Obi-Wan go to Nal Hutta to go after Zero, and then they go to like another place there that's not with the main Hutts, and you see Mama the Hutt. She's Zero the Hutt's mum.
Characters.
You'll see.
After Rose, yeah. Is it Rabonio? Oh, actually, let me see that. Is it Rabonio?
Completing missions and other
Because
events.
Rabonio is a Clone
your
Wars
favorite
character.
Ships to fly around and your favorite.
After Rose, I don't. The thing is, it's small. I know Rabonio's a small character, but where's the ears? I don't think it's Rabonio, because you can kind of see like the normal Lego head underneath, like there's no hair on it. You know how like Mace Windu is, for example, because he's bald. They just won't make like a bald headpiece. I know they have for some other lines, but not Star Wars. So I think it's a bald character.
Characters.
Anyway, let's
see characters in this game.
Let's move on here.
Never seen in any of our Star Wars games.
I hope it's Rabonio somehow.
I really love that you can play.
There's a little creature. So Salacious is following her. I see that. But we know now that he's not a companion. He's a full-on character because he's in the menu. So the thing is, it doesn't matter if you're a companion or not. If you're the second character, they're gonna follow them. So the companion thing's cool. It is, but I just wanted to play as Grogu.
Mama the Hutt.
Not a big issue though.
Because I want to be Jabba with lipstick on.
Characters such as Yaddle.
The way he said that way.
Created them just for
The
this game.
absolute way he said Yaddle.
Mama the Hutt, which I think is just great because I want to be Jabba with lipstick on.
Characters such as Yaddle.
Yaddle. He says it's so, like, in such a magical way. I mean, they've changed her outfit, I believe. Characters like Yaddle. I love the way he said that. It just sounded so magical. You wouldn't think it was just Yoda with hair. Jabba's sister from the Book of Boba Fett. I think they were introduced to the lore too late. Grogu's overrated, says Youngling. I let many things go, but you can't talk about Grogu like that. He's the gift that keeps on giving. Like, he shouldn't even be back with the Mandalorian. Like, they should have left it a bit longer if they were going to reunite. Because I think it just makes what came before a bit pointless. But I let it pass because it's Grogu, and I love seeing him. I think we all do, apart from you, clearly.
Babu Frick is hilarious.
Babu Frick. No, you got to say it with a bit more of a magical essence to it. Babu Frick. And look, there is Babu Frick. A bit more zoomed in this time, for those who were curious. I hope he's got his voice acting noises in the game. I'm sure he will. Yaddle's never been in any video game before, no.
Because he's so tiny.
Look how they actually, like, Lego is not, in terms of characters, very accurate with height. And I'm fine with that. It's like Chewie. He's a tiny bit bigger than your average minifigure, if that. Mama the Hutt, the best example. She's like a smaller version of this game, but that's pretty accurate. Or even if it's not, I love how tiny he is.
I am a huge fan of Star Wars.
We need Grogu and Babu Frick together. We need a Hrothgar Deng skin. What's interesting is we saw Dengar in the collection screen in the last trailer, and he only had one variant. Well, maybe Hrothgar Deng is in the game, and they're just refusing to 100% confirm they're the same person, even though it's pretty clear they are.
I'm so excited to be part of this. It was even more...
Zam Wessel, and this is a different look at the same shot we had on Twitter a week ago with the Duros Chef at the top, because that is that Duros Chef. This is Zam Wessel. It's nice to see her, actually, because we've seen her missions so many times. We've seen, like, the speeder bikes, but we've never actually really seen Zam. So, nice to see Zam, actually. I think she's a really cool character. Yeah, the Snowtrooper does have a cape, but that's actually accurate to those Snowtroopers in Episode 9. I actually think capes suit Snowtroopers, to be honest. I think they look really nice. You can see the same Duros in the background as well. Maybe they got like different shops.
Get to work on these planets I've loved seeing in the films and exploring them even.
That's nice. Again, Canto Bight as a planet is phenomenal. And you'll know I will ever change my mind on that. It's a fantastic planet. I'd love to see it more, just with some epic storylines and some more Star Wars aliens in the background. That we won't get a Kenobi DLC because the only DLC we're getting is what's confirmed. And one thing I haven't spoke about actually on stream, I have in video, but we know now that the final DLC pack will be on May 4th, or 2 of them actually, which I'm surprised about. Because I did think they were going to like drag out the packs to like June. July would have been a stretch, but it was always possible. But it's like, technically, game comes out on April 5th. Final DLC pack is April 4th. The game is getting less than a month of live service. It's a Lego game, so what do you expect? But I just don't want it to be like a month on from the game's release and it's dead, that's it. I know it's not going to last long with this game, I know that. But I'd like it to last as long as it can. One can dream, of course. I mean, RNG, I am excited for The Force Awakens in this game because it is being redone from the ground up, but I get what you mean in terms of even if the levels are redone, because The Force Awakens game was so recent, it's going to be the one with the fewest upgrades. Obviously, Episode 8 and 9 we've never seen before, and Episodes 1 to 6 is going to be completely upgraded like we've never... Well, we have seen now, but...
The
yeah.
work that the team have put into is incredible.
Don't think there's anything new here.
Part of this game.
We were able
Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor, or Starfighter actually from Episode 2, which we've seen already. I like this. It's nothing new. It's Yoda on Coruscant, but the two go together quite nicely. And just seeing the Jedi Temple over there, looking incredible. The game is stunning indeed. Blown away every time I see it. I hate repeating myself, but I think you can all understand the repetition, to be honest, when it comes to describing this game.
many worlds and bring them all together.
This is cool. Leia on a kind of cannon turret, whatever you want to... I don't know if you say turret on Hoth. I like it. I like the icicles and everything there. It really looks nice.
Create them the way that we wanted to is something that I'll always be proud of.
Going to Yavin 4. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Yep, and then it's just the usual. So, I mean, I don't know if we're going to go back through the whole thing. Is there any specific points people want me to pause at for a second time just to have a look at? But I think we've pretty much gone over it all. I'm getting faster at this stuff. And I know you're probably thinking over an hour isn't fast. It is for a 5-minute trailer. I mean, I suppose when a lot of it is... Not a lot of it, but a large percentage of it is developers' faces. We're obviously not going to be analysing the developers' faces, are we? So, yeah. Either way, it's looking stunning. Like if you enjoy, guys, though, and subscribe if you're new. Let me know if there's any more bits and pieces you want me to discuss, obviously. Yeah. I want to know Slave 1 or Starship. We can't tell from this trailer which one they've gone for. Coruscant Guard confirmed. Yep. Coruscant Guard is confirmed. Thank God. Thank God, because it wasn't painted in the trailer from 2020.
There's so many different ways to do it. It's so funny. It's not the Lego
Developer face review went. I'm not going to do that.
He said, right, let's give the fans everything Star Wars. We're going to give them the galaxy.
Building the galaxy.
In Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga,
look at this really quickly. Last thing in the video is the Lego set 75214 Echo Base. Oh, you mean the small like shooting sets? Yeah, I know the ones. It's nice how they've incorporated those assets into the game.
In our imagination.
We've seen Babu Freak. I was on him a few minutes ago, Marcus.
Across 9 movies.
One of the big things
try and find him again for you.
When we started this game was
yeah, I can pause at the character selection grid. I mean, we were going over it for a while, but we can go back over it, of course.
One big cohesive galaxy.
The game itself is obviously episodic. As players play through those, they will unlock these wonderful planets that they'll get to explore. You can go from Tatooine to Coruscant. You can go to Bespin.
Tatooine to Coruscant.
The planets are where this game really comes to life. The sheer scale of this is off the chart. Being able to traverse the entire...
Wait, so if the planets have obviously played the game, that means you won't be able to do some things again. I suppose, but you always have your other saves to go back and do things.
Alive and unique to what it was in the film.
We started by going through every planet, discussing colours and texture details. Each planet and location has got so much original, authentic Star Wars detail.
We got new systems that gave us a lot more finite control. How the planets look, how the levels look, how the ships look. It all looks so good.
There's also a couple of little details that people might not really observe straight away. One of them is the Lego weathering effect. When you have the players or vehicles transition through the environment, they become sort of dirtier. For example, Tatooine Desert.
I mean, Bausch is just looking incredible, isn't she? But unsubbed, says Nate. What did I do this time, Nate? Is that me, or is Coruscant looking like DC supervillains world? I wouldn't really be able to compare.
It was really satisfying.
As I haven't played
the game, whichever character you choose. We wanted to make sure that all the little crevices.
I really don't know if there's that much else to cover.
These elements would start to increase.
I know people. I mean, I'll show that since people wanted the selection screen. I'll show that one last time. Around here, I believe.
In our game, there's a lot of collectibles, and the Kyber bricks are something the players are going to find throughout the planets. These are awarded in puzzles and sometimes can be awarded in missions.
Along the way, you can get distracted by...
will they show the ships? You can see a capital ship tab. We'll have a look at that tab then. I just need to find it, obviously, but
I've been too busy collecting Kyber
yeah,
bricks.
we can have a look.
Completing missions and other events are how you unlock.
Capital ship tab. Where? Oh yeah. And then you got a mini kit tab below that. Interesting how like the mini kits are with the capital ships. That's interesting, but yeah, I can see that. The big question is that a Gonk Droid ship or not? I just don't know.
And your favorite
oh, I missed it again.
Need the story in about half an hour. I've been too busy collecting Kyber bricks.
Completing missions and other events are how you unlock your favorite ships to fly around and your favorite...
There's the character collection screen if you want to see it one last time. That's all we get to see. There's not more if they scroll down or anything like that. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave it there because we've pretty much gone through it all. Thank you so much for watching. Whether I'm going to update the character list or not, we'll have to see. I don't personally know, because we could just get another one of these trailers in a few days or like a week from now, and there's a lot of repetition in those videos. Like, obviously there'll be about 30 characters maybe from this, but on top of me just telling you all the other characters that are in there. So we might just do something like all new characters confirmed in this trailer, because even I don't want to keep wasting everyone's time of telling you all what we already know. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.